I've visited the West Coast quite a bit, and we used to hear lots of bird life, and then after 1080 drops, we didn't hear the birds anymore, which was really sad. So that's kind of where my passion for birds has come from. Well, my main interests are music, so I'm going to study music at university next year, but I do really enjoy the environment and everything, and I like obviously living in the country. I get to learn a lot about the environment, so yeah, that's one of my other passions. It's for my media studies class, and we had to make a documentary about anything we wanted to, and all my classmates were making documentaries on their mums and stuff like that, and I thought I like controversy a little bit, and so I thought, why not do something that no one else is doing and focus on something that not everyone knows about. When I first told my class what I was going to do my documentary about, they all said to me, you're crazy, half of us don't even know what 1080 is. Be able to get both sides of opinions on 1080 and then allow the audience to make their own decision on how they feel about it. Oh, Bill was great. He was really easy to talk to, and he has so much knowledge. He's really knowledgeable. The second person that I interviewed for my documentary was Graham Elliott, and I'd never met really anyone from doc before, and so he was quite an interesting person to interview. He's clearly very passionate about the environment. He was explaining to me about the buckets that they use to drop 1080, and I found that quite interesting, how he said that not all of them are that great. Some of them are faulty and don't particularly work that great, but some of them do, and so it's a bit of a 50-50 on whether the 1080 actually gets spread properly. So I found that quite interesting that he was telling me that. But I mean, obviously we have hills in New Zealand, and it's kind of not mathematically possible for it to be spread completely evenly. Bill taught me about the actual statistics of it, and whereabouts they're dropping 1080 and whether it's actually working in those areas or not. And Graham was more about the animal side of it, and that there's not really that many other options available. So, they're dropping 1080 to kill rats. Some of these areas don't even have rats in them, and they're just dropping 1080 just because. I think I kind of just went away and did my own thing on it occasionally, because I was a bit scared to show them what I was working on, because not that they criticised me, but I was kind of in my own brain about it, and I knew what I wanted to do with it, because I'd never done any documentary or anything before this. This is my first one. So everything was pretty simple. But I didn't get that much good feedback when I showed it at school, actually. Everyone was quite negative about it, I guess. It wasn't until actually going into the Briefs Film Festival that I got some really good comments about it, and actually won Best Editing Award. Actually, I got a lot of comments that it was biased at school, which I thought was quite interesting, because in the Briefs Film Festival I was told that it was completely unbiased. So yeah, I thought I've succeeded in the way that I've helped some people understand what 1080 is, and maybe it sparked an interest in some people. That was my goal from the very beginning, and also my personal goal was to learn more about 1080 as I went, and I learned a lot about 1080 interviewing Bill and Graham. So yeah, I think I have succeeded in what I wanted to do. I think there's a lot better options for pest control in New Zealand than spreading 1080 aerially. I think it could be used definitely in traps, 1080, but spreading it aerially, you can get it onto farms and stuff. They say they don't get it onto farms, but accidents happen. You never really know. So I think we just need to be a bit more careful in New Zealand, because we do have such a beautiful country. And I think the government needs to look into more options. I know they say that this is the only option they have, but with technology nowadays, honestly, there could be a lot more options out there that we just haven't found yet. So I think they need to really be looking into that a bit more. No, and another thing they haven't gone into is about what happens to insects, because 1080 was originally an insecticide. So it's like, wondering about all the bees that are going extinct. What about 1080?